Hello everybody, welcome to Streetlight Babble, where we'll be reviewing
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume Dose.
long awaited, isn't it, Jake?
Long awaited is too long for me. So, Chris, why don't you ring us in with a small plot overview? No spoilers, ladies and gentlemen. We want to keep this fresh for those of you who haven't seen it yet, but let's be real. A lot of people saw this movie. It made a lot of money on its opening weekend.
Oh yeah, hopefully it'll make more than Batman vs. Superman.
I feel like it will.
How do you feel, DC?
How do you
The
feel?
Avengers B Squad has made more
They're
money
more like
than
a C Squad act.
Anyway, we begin with our C Squad 2 months after the events, 2 or 3 months after the events of the first Guardians of the Galaxy. We have a baby group. We got all the gangs back, and they're fighting dimensional space monsters and angering perfect gold people.
Yes.
Oh, it's an adventure. But what's the real mission today?
Find
It's Kurt Russell.
Find Poppy.
Find Pappy. Pappy's the real mission today.
And find them, he did.
Find them, he did?
He did find them.
Well, yes. Pappy found the Guardians.
Yeah, the Guardians didn't find Poppy. So, let's ring it in with some character performances. Arguably, we would say there's about 4 main characters in the movie. I mean, technically it's an ensemble movie. There's a lot of characters in there, but there's 4 that really receive development
It's
over
an
there.
ensemble, man. First off, we got Star-Lord, our kind of lead.
Yep, portrayed by Chris Pratt, not Chris Ulatowski. There's
Not by me. But yeah, it was he did a really good job. When it came time to feel, he felt. He was bringing there were some callbacks to the past movies, bringing in some of our 80s pop culture icons.
But yeah, he
Beautiful.
He had some good moments and some
Good moments. Chris
some-
Pratt, he knows how to be relatable. He knows how to be real.
He knows how to be an everyman.
He knows how to be an everyman while being a spaceman. And that's really what we want to be in life, is an every spaceman.
Yes. Next up, we have Yondu,
Oh,
our whistler.
our Whistler.
Our whistler.
Yondu did a really good job. He kind of stole the show a lot more than he did. Michael Rooker, with his just weirdness. He's a weird dude in real life and on screen, and he brought that over. He brought all these different little eccentricities to Yondu we didn't get in the first one. I liked him. He was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
He was a standout in this one.
No, totally. Was very happy that they allowed him to come back. Little fun fact for those of you who don't know, Yondu was not actually supposed to be in the original Guardians of the Galaxy movie. They added him in super late in the writing process, just because James Gunn's like, well, I want Michael Rooker in the movie, so I'm gonna have him be Yondu. But yeah, overall great performance. And then we have Rocket Raccoon.
Oh, of course, Rocket. He did a great job. Of course, Bradley Cooper, always the heart and soul. You know, because a lot of people think because the Guardians have now become kind of a family, and some people think Star-Lord's the father, but Rocket kind of has to do everything, doesn't he?
He does. I think Star-Lord's the dad, but Rocket's
At
definitely
some point,
the mom.
they leave Rocket alone to set up traps, fix the ship, watch Baby Groot, and watch a certain prisoner.
Yes, and he does.
He does all those
he
things.
takes care of business, and then
He has to do everything. God.
But that's why I said he's like the mom. Gamora's not the mom of the group. Rocket's the mom of the group.
Rocket, that makes sense. He's the mom. He's the mom of the group. He has to do everything domestically.
Yes.
He's a domesticated raccoon. I like that.
He has to raise baby Groot.
Has to raise the baby.
And
and who else? Oh, we got Kurt Russell as Ego. Great character. I liked Ego a lot. A lot of surprises coming your way, or maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe not.
So what do you think about Ego?
I really liked him. I liked the way that they portrayed him. It's similar enough to the comics where it's not going to anger a lot of the comic purists, but different enough where they kind of made Ego their own thing. And there's some spoilery things that go on with Ego, so we'll talk more about him in our spoiler review. But overall, Chris Pratt, no. Chris Pratt's daddy. Kurt Russell
did a good job. I liked him a lot.
Yes, he did. All right, next up, we wanted to touch base on some cinematography.
Oh, this movie was beautiful.
It was a beautifully well shot. There a lot of CGI, but
Marvel's color grading has always been an issue for me. Very gray all the time, but like Civil War, as I told my friend, my partner in crime here earlier, it was kind of like Parking Lots, the movie. Suicide Squad, very dark tones. Scenes are supposed to be bright there, but everything's dimmed.
Yeah, you can't see anything in that movie.
It feels like all the colors are in a box in Suicide Squad, and Guardians of the Galaxy, it rips open that box. The colors are everywhere.
There's some really great reds. There's some great purples. Yellow.
Sharp colors, sharp contrast. And they're all filmed very well in space. You can tell it's space, and it's flying around, but it doesn't make you dizzy like Gravity. It's well shot. It's beautiful. You have to see it in theaters.
You do.
You have to see it in theaters because that's the best place to see this beauty.
Yes, the scope of it, and I usually don't. I don't really care one way or another about seeing things in 3D, but I feel like this is one of the few movies where the 3D actually enhanced the movie as opposed to was just kind of a cheap gimmick.
We got trading cards when we saw it. That's how special we are.
That's how special we are. But yeah, overall the shots I think were really really well. And props to James Gunn. I think he did a really good job improving his universe.
Improving his universe, because he was great. That's the one thing that I love about the first Guardians was universe building. And he just built upon that even more. I'm always excited to see more of what he can put into this universe. And he even was able to slide in a bit more of his weirdness into this one.
Exactly. I felt the first one, I feel like there was a lot of... obviously it was a big gamble for the studio to make. And they didn't... the first one, don't get me wrong, it had some weird moments, but I feel like this one, they just let James Gunn be James Gunn, and let him be as weird as he wanted to be in a PG-13 movie.
Yep. Normally a rated R guy.
Yeah,
James.
But for what he made, I think it was rather fantastic. A lot of... We kind of talked about this earlier. The first Guardians movie was great, but a lot of the humor that it had was scripted humor, was verbal humor. This one had a lot more visual comedy.
Yes. I liked all the... But I can't really spoil them to you. Visual jokes are never funny when they're explained. Go see this film. Go see it.
Yeah.
Go see it. What are your final thoughts, Jake? What do you think?
Overall, I really enjoyed it. There was one detractor that I had for the movie. It was that the music, which was all really good, was very similar in kind of style and rhythm. So I don't know. The first soundtrack I feel like was better just because there was a lot of more musical variety to it. I'm not saying it's a complete detractor. I'd still give the movie a 9 out of 10, but it was noticeable how the songs were all very similar to each other.
I'll say the pacing for me in the middle was a bit weird, switching between two different things happening. It just kind of felt just slightly off, but it's made up by the characters acting so much better. Everyone acted just beautifully. Stallone cameoed.
Yes, he did. We'll talk about that in the sport.
And I still couldn't hear half what he was saying.
He needed subtitles.
Subtitles, man.
All right, well, stay tuned. We're going to be recording our spoiler review, so...
But go see it. Highly recommend it. 8 or 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10 here.
20 out of 20. 50 out of 60.
Yes. And with Chris's melting, we'll see you soon. Goodbye. Woo!